The Altaros regulator has been installed. I've got the leak fixed. Now it's time to shoot this and find out how many shots do I get, what's my velocity, how well does this thing really shoot. So you can see that I've got this full to the 200 bar. Let me get that to focus. And then the regulator is set kind of between 1,000 and 2,000 psi, but a little bit closer to the 2,000. So I'm guessing around 1,500 psi. Shoot it, see how it does. This still has the factory top hat on it. So what I'm referring to is that. I'm going to shoot a full tank out of this just the way it is, and then I'm going to adjust that to a smaller one and see if that gives me even more shots. So here's how this fill went from 200 bar down to about 100 bar. Pretty consistent velocities. We got a total of about 50 shots. I think it ended up being 48 shots, and then the last 4 or 5 on this last 10 shot string really fell off. I mean, down to 907. So I guess we're good for about 45-ish shots, and that was with this factory ring lock valve cap. So that is a little bit bigger than this one, the 232. I'm going to actually install this guy, and you can see the difference between those two and see what that does to it as far as stability. So there's the graph. This first one was because the first shot the regulator had creep, so it shot at a lot higher velocity, but after that it was pretty stable. There was a couple of weird points, or just one weird point like that. Everything else was really in this 940 to 950 range. Then you can see right there where it fell off the regulator and done. So with no regulator, I had this 140 shot string, but at first is because the hammer spring couldn't hit the valve hard enough to utilize all the air. So for a long time we stayed under 900 feet per second until we got to a bit like shot 60 basically. And so that shot chart looks like that, where it was just consistently going till where it peaked, then it fell off. So I think because it wasn't able to push as much air because the valve wasn't opening all the way, we got more shots in this configuration. And that was with also the factory valve cap. So I'm hoping this smaller valve will give me more shots. I think there's a lot of wasted air every time I pull the trigger. So I'm hoping to see same velocity pretty much, but more shots. Just got done shooting this next string. This is with that 0.145 ring lock installed. So look, it's a much smaller valve. And this time we got 87 shots out of this. And there is our spread. Pretty consistent. You see right where it falls below about 105 bar. I was looking at the gauges and it seems to be pretty darn consistent at that. Once you get to about 105 bar, it just falls right off. So it seems like these gauges are pretty accurate, really. Even that one's sitting at, I don't know, about 1,500 psi. That would equal about 105 bar. I think 1,400 equals 100 bar. So that's where we're at for today. And the next step will be just taking it on the range, see what it does at 50 yards. I'm still down at the lowest setting, haven't adjusted the power wheel at all. And I might need to pull that up just a little bit. It was shooting really nice at 10 yards, but we were pushing at 850, 880. I guess closer to 880 all the time. Yeah. We'll continue to figure out what we need to do for accuracy.